Look, we did have another video that was ready to go, but due to current media events, that video was deemed too insensitive for now, so I was caught in Brisbane due to climate change, and as a result, I had nothing to do for an entire day, so I felt like a 15-year-old walking around with my friend in the mall. What do you want to do? I don't know, what do you want to do? And we did the inevitable thing of going to watch a movie that neither of us wanted to see that much, but it was the best option there, or so we thought. And that movie was Gladiator 2. Holy shit, were we wrong. I get that I have no business reviewing this, least of all for the fact that this is not, and I repeat, not a movie review channel. That's just one problem with me reviewing movies, but another one is that I'm coming in with this like I do with virtually any video that I do, so I am qualified in this, heavy bias. I am a massive Romophile to the point that I have done 2 thinly veiled lectures on Rome now. 2 that I pretend are comedy shows. They're really not. It's just me learning that, oh my God, things that I learned about theater are historically inaccurate. I gotta write this in justice. It's been around for 2,000 years. It's really important. That was one of them. And then the second one was, did you know that the Byzantine Empire was actually part of Rome? I think that's important for you to know. I am that annoying asshole that is sitting next to someone when the first scene is them trying to ram up to a walled city in galley boats, basically just twigs and bark, and they've got fire cannonballs that are straight at them, and then this guy is supposed to be deemed as this mad general. Yes, a bold strategy. Let's just go straight into death, shall we? Ah, marvelous, Rome's finest. What the hell? In fact, that was really my response when I was with my friend. You know that this is going to be a bad review when you turn to your friend at the end of the movie and this is your facial expression. You ready? The Krusty the Clown.
What the hell is that?
Look, if you watch the first one, which I'm guessing is 100% of the audience, because the entire point of Gladiator 2 really was, if they were going to be honest about it, they really should have just titled it, How Good Was Gladiator 1? You know what that movie essentially is? It's basically just the film clip to Danger Zone, the theme song to Top Gun, where it's got Kenny Loggins, where you're like, who the fuck is that? And he's like, don't pay attention to me, how cool is Tom Cruise? That was basically Maximus's son in this movie. It was just like, why am I looking at a shit, less handsome Russell Crowe? Yes, I am including modern day fat old Russell Crowe, by the way. Half the script was just, how cool was Maximus? Yeah, okay. And then it seems that the rest of their writing ambition went into making a scene-by-scene remake of Gladiator 1. But crapper! I'm sorry, the graphics were crapper. Just, what the fuck was that baboon? Is it supposed to be a zombie? Generally, this seemed to be the high concept of it. Gladiator, if it was written by an idiot, it seemed to just be a scene-for-scene reshot for most of the film of what the first one was. Oh no, I'm a slave. Oh, I'm actually really sick at combat. Surprise! Oh, I've got a slave owner now, except this time it's Denzel Washington, who can't even be fucked to put on the British accent. What the hell was that? Yeah, I'm a slave owner or some shit. I don't know, I didn't really read the script. Then you moved on to second battle scene, except for this time it had a fucking rhino that they were riding like a horse. Which, you guys, again, like, this isn't a historically inaccurate point. This is I think that is physically impossible to ride a rhinoceros around like it's a noble steed. But on top of that, it's not like some final boss level. He doesn't get all these plus points for being on armor. I'm pretty sure that it would be closer, if anything, to being a fucking rodeo rider than it would be just riding a horse. And then on top of that, oh yeah, 6 guys versus 1 rhino. Yeah, that seems about even. You do realize that he has a really bad job here. He is trying to stay stable on a wild animal while they are not that far away with projectile weapons. I think he's fucked in real life, frankly. The rest of it's the same thing. Battle scene. I gotta get my revenge. Battle scene. I've really got to get my revenge. Battle scene. There was the twist here. Oh no, I've just decided I don't have to get my revenge. I've destroyed the entire character arc of me up until this point for no reason. And then at the end, plot twist, didn't finish in the Colosseum. It still had Russell Crowe's rousing speech, only this time it was really cringy. And oh no, it actually did finish in the Colosseum. Whoops, so that wasn't even that different. Look, you probably have to watch the film to connect those dots, and I'm sure everybody has anyway, but what is Ridley Scott's goal here, apart from making huge amounts of money, which if that's the case, well done, because I did absolutely fall for the nostalgia bait. So I am a huge idiot for doing it. Damn you, Ridley, you've done it to me, I think, 3 times in 2 years. You're really on a hot streak for that. But you also seem to be really doing everything you can to damage your legacy greatly. It wouldn't have been that hard to have made a good Gladiator 2. I'll tell you what would have honestly made it better, from my opinion. Let me know if I'm wrong in the comments here. But don't you think this would have been way better? It's just a shot of Russell Crowe. Just a picture, it zooms out, it's Mary Beard from BBC in some Roman museum. Gladiator was a really great movie. But what was it really like in the Colosseum? And then it's just a shitty BBC documentary for the rest of the time. Maybe she interviews Ridley Scott so he can say, well, I got the idea for Gladiator when I was watching Gladiators on Channel 7 in Australia. I don't know how he fucking thought of it. Because he used to be a genius, that's how.
Well, he didn't come up with the original concept.
That doesn't fucking surprise me either. You're a sham, Ridley! A sham! Oh, everything was handed to you on a silver platter and you throw it away like one of those insane emperors. That's the real creativity there, right there. You are that parody of what a Roman emperor is. You are the insane emperor. You've gone mad with power with your fucking scot-free productions, and you should have never been scot-free. You should have been chained. You should have been absolutely chained to the old Hollywood model, Ridley, because they were keeping you away from the public so you could desecrate their works. Honestly, probably too far. And again, it's purely just because this is really triggering my autism, so I can't really have a fair analysis of this film for you. Go anywhere else, they'll probably have some good points about, I don't know, production and fucking costuming or whatever. I don't care about any of that. You know what I care about a lot? The fact that there was not 1, but 2 bad emperors this time, because it's 2. Do you get it? And it was like, what the hell? And then they just get every shitty caricature of a Roman emperor. You just have to know this about history. All of those caricatures, pretty much, were just written by a historian that was commissioned by the emperor that had killed that emperor, justifying why it was necessary for that emperor to kill said emperor. And that seems to be where most people are getting their history idea of what a Roman emperor was. For the most part, I'm sure there was a couple that were that batshit insane, whatever, but generally, it was just some bureaucrat dude. Some were better at being a general, some were better at being counting, and so they just chuck that parody of what was written off of a parody to sit there and say, look, he's made his monkey first consul of Rome, which is obviously based off Caligula making his horse the head of the Senate, which I guess that happened. This spoiler alert, I wasn't there, but this whole idea that he did it because he was insane and syphilis had gotten to his brain. Wow, he's basically one of those wacky inflatable balloons, but the emperor. No, the reason that he did that was because he was making a political statement to the Senate that I don't give a fuck what you say. Anything you say to me is as important as my horse chewing on barley. That's what he was saying there. It was fucking hilarious. It was a mad troll. And then they've turned that throughout history to, and so you see the emperor's corrupt. And it's always just the same thing, which is like, so what's your response, Hollywood? What's your response? What was a better system? Oh, well, you get all of these corrupt cunts that owned a bunch of land to just divvy it up along themselves. So it's always just this same thing of like, it's the same thing with British kings as well. It's like, okay, I'd much rather a workers' party, obviously, but if it was a choice between the king and a bunch of those self-interested cunts just sitting there being like, and then you can have Worcester and I'll have Colchester. Dude, give me the fucking king any day of the week. At least he scares the shit out of those cunts. Anyway, that's why I hate it mostly. I just really don't like their little shitty political messages that they put into it.
Gladiator 2 review, huh?
Yeah. I'm just so angry. Fuck you, Ridley.